Hello, this is Bridget Rao with Divine Essentials. Okay guys, obviously you can see we're set up a little bit differently tonight. We are doing a pick a card reading. I have 3 piles set up in front of us, and I'm going to show you 3 different items that you can choose from. And the way I'm doing this tonight, we're going to find out like what's going on regarding to time, because I've got the Divine Time Oracle here. And then we're going to also hear what your person has to say to you, because we're using the Soul Whispers. We are also going to hear what messages come through songs with the lyricism. And we're also going to dive into the emotions of this connection, with the ocean of emotion. And then we also just want to go into the overall energies of your connection with the Muse Tarot. So we're going to dive into a little bit of everything. I don't necessarily know what I'm going to call it. I guess probably something like what are they feeling right now or whatever, just because that seems to be something that covers it all. But let's see, the first pile, I'm going to give you guys a ruby recorder. So if you like the ruby recorder, this is for pile 1, which I have right here. And then for pile 2, I'm going to use this. This is a selenite wand, and this is fluorite. This is like a massage wand. I know it can look a little weird. Like, I promise you, I haven't been using it for anything other than actually decoration. But some people look at it and go, what is that? And then I'm going to use a pie stone. This is a jade pie stone. We use these in the Monet Key. So this basically, you know, represents the like the Kundalini energy, like wrapping around the spine 3.14 times, and you know, that type of Ouroboros energy, like the serpent eating its own tail, that infinite flow. And this is in jade, which is very like high vibey and like royal like. So choose which one feels right to you. I will hold this up so you guys can see. And if you want more time, just pause. But we're going to start off with number 1, which is this little guy here. And we are at 222. So 222, we're going to start with you guys. I'm going to use these just to hold these as we go. I'm using one of my shirts, my In Monet Namaste shirt. And we'll start off with, I'd like to start off with the tarot. I do have quite a few different decks that I used here. But we're going to start off with the Muse Tarot, and then we'll dive into some of these other messages. So let's find out what's going on here. The first card out I have is the 9 of Pentacles, which is that single, sexy, confident, independent version of yourself, pre-Empress energy. So this is likely the feminine's energy. So I feel like whoever you're asking about, they could be seeing you as this energy, like seeing you as doing what you're supposed to be doing, feeling good about yourself, feeling sexy, feeling confident, feeling more empowered, you know, just getting things done in the right way for your world. And the pre-Empress is somebody that's going to be receptive and nurturing. She's going to lean back and allow things to come to her. She's not going to be chasing somebody. So if you're no longer chasing this person, I feel like they've noticed, you know, they've noticed that you've given them some space. They've noticed that you're, you know, leaning back into your divine feminine energy. They notice that you're being more independent, more confident. And I find that that's usually an attractive thing, especially if you're dealing with a man. And then you have the Queen of Cups. So again, this is more of the feminine's energy coming through. I feel like this person does see you as somebody that loves them unconditionally. But again, they see you stepping more into your power, stepping more into that energy of like, I'm not going to run after you. I'm not going to chase after you. I may love you unconditionally. I may want to nurture you and love you and give you all of my heart, but I know I need to love myself first and foremost. So whenever I see the Queen of Cups, not only is she a nurturer, a lover, you know, and very intuitive and all those things, but she usually does that for herself first and foremost, because she's the queen. She's not going to be, you know, giving all of her love to everybody else. She's going to take care of herself first and then take care of others. I don't know why there's a fly, but there's a fly. And it's like freezing outside. So yeah, makes no sense. But then we have the 8 of Materials, which is the 8 of Pentacles. So whoever you're asking about, I feel like they do want to work together with you to build. I think there's 2 flies. They do want to work together with you to build something more sacred, more stable. Like the Pentacles represents like that that physical material world, you know, getting things done in the physical material world. So I feel like they do want to do something in the material world with you. And we have the Emperor, so this person could be stepping into their power as well. Like seeing you stepping into your power could be helping them to step into theirs, you know, figuring out where they belong in the lexicon of life, figuring out where they need to go and what they need to do, where to do this work that's required of them, you know, what type of effort should I be putting into, where should I be putting it in, and all of those things. And this is an embodiment of all the kings, so they have their energy right, they have their mind right, they have their, you know, value on themselves, they know what they deserve, they know that they can pursue things, they can protect things, they can provide things. Basically, it's a very good, powerful energy. So I feel like you guys could be mirroring a little bit right now, where it's like you're in the pre-empress energy, they could be in the pre-emperor energy, unless they're already in a relationship. They might be like stepping up into like that more of the emperor role. But I feel like for many of you, it's going to be that they're in their pre-emperor energy and they're getting ready to do something, to work hard. We also have the Fool coming through, so I feel like this person does want to take a leap of faith with you. They do want to jump into this connection. I feel like they're tired of holding back. I'm seeing this ladder here that's going through the sand, and I feel like they wish that they could like figure out a way through the barrier or the wall that you guys may have here, but they're getting to that point where they're like ready to just jump into the unknown, jump into whatever it is that they need to do. You know, it's like, I don't want to think about it too much, I just want to do it. I don't care what the consequences are. But we do have the Seven of Emotions, which is the Seven of Cups, so I feel like there could be a lot of distractions around, or there could be a lot of other people connected to you guys. Like, you could have multiple offers, especially in that pre-empress energy. She usually has a lot of suitors, a lot of men that are like trying to get her attention, trying to find out like, hey, you want to go on a date? Hey, you want to talk to me? Because she's in the right energy to be receptive and receive things. So you may have a lot of other suitors that are trying to get your attention right now. And on the flip side of that, your person, if they're in their emperor energy, they could have a lot of women that are like making themselves available to them. So take it as it resonates, but I definitely feel like there is some sort of energy here where there is distractions, there are illusions, there are other options available to both of you. And then we're going to dive in with the Divine Time Oracle and just see what's going on like regards to timing. So the first one here says, create and inspire, it'll set your life on fire. And this is the Artist card. So I feel like the more creative you get, the more inspired you get, the more you're creating your life. You're not just like living day by day, and you're not just idly sitting around. The more creative you get, the better things are going to get for you. It's going to set your life on fire. It's going to help to, you know, bring to like a shift within your life, within your relationship, within the foundation. So you have 444. And this says angelic support, divine alignment, and foundations. So I feel like there is a very strong foundation between you and this divine masculine. Oh yeah, and you have the 414 card too. So this is the divine masculine card. I feel like there is a very strong foundation that the two of you have. And this says spiritual foundation protected. So you and this divine masculine have a foundation that is protected, that it is in divine alignment. And I feel like there's support available to you guys right now from the angelic realm as well. So just know that you are being supported. You do have a strong foundation with this person. Like, even though there may be those other options and those distractions and things that feel like, I feel like it's not that big of a deal. Like, the two of you still like belong together. There's nothing that can really like deter this connection from coming back into alignment, because you already have the foundation that's aligned in the right way. Then we have impatience, and it says they will be back just like that. But if you're sitting around impatient, or you're like, when, like when I said I'm gonna do the divine time cards, if you're like, oh my god, when, that's not the right energy you want to be in. Again, we were already talking about this pre-empress energy is the appropriate energy to be in, like leaning back, allowing them to come to you, giving them that space that's needed, trusting in this foundation, and knowing that when they're supposed to be there is when they'll be there. And as soon as you do that, it's like just like that, they'll be back. So you don't have to freak out about it. And then you've got 212 and you've got 222. So I feel like you guys probably are seeing a lot of synchronicity because you got 414 and 444, then 212 and 222. So you're probably seeing a lot of these numbers, or the numbers, the synchronistic numbers, like seeing, you know, 1111 or 1010 or 555 or whatever. But basically 212 says awakening partnership, manifesting thoughts in a progression of love. So you guys are like progressing here. Your foundation has already been laid out. Things are progressing appropriately, but your thoughts are manifesting. So you want to be careful what you're thinking, because if you're thinking that they've got all these other options, that they're going to go pursue, you know, this 7 of Cups energy somewhere else, and that, you know, my foundation is falling apart and things are no good, then you're going to start seeing that. But if you start, you know, focusing on like the positive parts of this, that we have this strong foundation, I'm just going to focus on being creative and in my divine feminine essence. I'm going to lean back. I'm going to focus on self-love. I'm going to just be like the fool in my own life and take a leap of faith and do things that feel good to me. I'm going to fill myself up with unconditional love, and I'm just going to create a beautiful life and know that like everything's good. Then it's going to speed up the process for this person to return to you, and it's going to help with that progression of love and the manifesting of this partnership. And then with 222, this basically says twin flames, divine partnership, soulmate. So basically this is your divine counterpart. This is the partnership that you're supposed to have progress. This is the person that you're supposed to be with. And again, they will be back just like that when you're patient and when you're in the right vibration and you're trusting in the foundation and you're out creating your best life. You're being the artist of your reality, and you're not sitting around waiting or getting anxious or doing anything that's blocking yourself from that divine flow. So try to, again, just lean back and allow whatever's meant to be. And with lyricism, we're going to find out what lyrics happen to be connected to your messages right now. We have, you only know you love her when you let her go. So I feel like whoever you're asking about, they probably let you go. They probably ran from you at some point, and now they're like, oh shit, I love that person. You know, like I'm starting to realize that I don't want that person to go. I don't want to leave that behind. I do feel this deep connection somewhere deep inside of me that I didn't know was there. And then we have, sorry, I never told you all I wanted to say. So I feel like this person let you go without telling you how they felt. This person, you know, may have pushed you away and just never opened up to you. They never told you all they wanted to say. They never, you know, stopped you from walking away. And that could be why they're seeing you in that pre-empress energy, because you could have finally been like, I can't do this anymore because you're not supporting me, you're not loving me, you're not giving anything back to me, you're not taking that leap of faith, you're not doing this work, like the 8 of Pentacles work that needs to be done in any relationship. Work is required to make something work. And I feel like this person just wasn't ready for that. And then they say, have I told you lately that I love you? So I feel like they do want to tell you that they love you, and this is how they've been feeling lately about you and about this connection, but they're having a hard time, you know, when it comes to actually doing it. They have a hard time just putting their feelings into words. It's like they just would rather just let you go without stopping you or without saying something, because you're headed for something somewhere they've never been. So they've never had this type of intense connection before. They've never had something so strong with anybody else before. They don't know exactly how to deal with it or handle it. But this is like, they can just sense that we're headed for something I've never been. You know, this is something strong. This is something intense. This is something I don't even know exactly what to do with. But I definitely feel like they know on some level that you guys are headed somewhere that they've never really been before. And then with the Soul Whispers cards, we're going to see what they have to say to you. The first one says, do the work. So I feel like, again, this 8 of Pentacles energy, the both of you still have work to do before you can come together and make this work out between the two of you. Like, you've got some work to do, they've got some work to do. Feminine energy, masculine energy. They may be strong and in their you know, Emperor energy, and you may be strong in your Empress energy, but there's still always going to be work to be done to make things work, especially in a connection with another person, because it's like both of you have to be aligned in order for it to happen. And then when you come together, you still have work to do together. So it's like, don't ever think that you're done working on yourself. I find a lot of people do that. They're like, they want to point the finger at the other person and be like, they need to do this and they need to do that and they need to do this. So do you. So like, whatever you're pointing at them, if they're your twin flame, they're your mirror. So if you're pointing at them saying they need to do all these things, then you might want to look in the mirror and figure out what you need to do, because there's usually a lot of stuff that you both are mirroring to each other that, you know, if you just get inspired and creative and figure that stuff out and do it and jump in without holding back and without resistance and without pointing at them, it's going to be a lot easier. So then we have come closer to me. So I feel like this person does want to come closer to you. They do say see you soon. So I feel like they do want to see you soon. They do want to come closer to you. They don't like being separated from you. And they say, I'm sorry I lied to you. So they may not have straight out lied to you. They could have just lied to you with their behavior, like pretending like, I don't care about you. I don't care if you run away. I don't care if this is over. When in reality, they, you know, once they let you go, they realized, oh shit, I do love her. I don't want to lose her. I do want to do the work that's required here. And, you know, I'm sorry that I lied to you with those behaviors. And then we have talk to me from your soul. So this person does want to hear what you have to say to them energetically. I feel like they may be having a hard time communicating in the physical with you, but they do want to talk to you from their soul. So they're asking you to talk to them from your soul and to keep, you know, doing what you got to do to make things, you know, communicate back and forth with each other. So basically, they definitely miss you. I think that they want to come close to you soon, and I feel like things will work out between you guys. Like, I think you will see this person not too far away, as long as you do the work and, you know, forgive whatever has been done and hasn't been done here so far. Then from the ocean of emotion, we have, I'm really trying to find a balance in life and love. So whoever you're asking about, they do want a balance in their life and love situation. So they could be somebody that throws themselves into work all the time, doesn't have time for love. You know, they're constantly like consumed with other things. That could be those distractions, those illusions, those other options in their life. It could just come down to work. But I feel like they want to balance those two things out. They don't want to constantly be working or constantly be consumed with something that's kept them from having love in their life. And we have independent, which says, I admire your freedom to be who you truly are. So again, we're getting more of that Nine of Pentacles energy. They really admire that on you. The more independent you are, the more confident you are, the more you're standing in that strength and that freedom to be who you are without worrying what other people think or what other people say, the more stress-free you are, the more relaxed you are, the more calm you are, the more you're being very attractive to this person. And actually, it's making them feel like they've made a fool of themselves at times, because they're like, I didn't tell you those things that I wanted to say. I didn't, you know, do anything. I did let you go, and now you're off and you're on your own and you're looking good and you're free and you're doing your thing. And now I want to balance stuff out, but I feel like I made a fool of myself. So it says I've made a fool of myself foolish. So I did something foolish, and I'm sorry, but I do admire that freedom that you have to just be who you are and not worry about looking like a fool. Because I'm sure there's times that you just are at this point now where you're like, whatever, I'm just going to do whatever, say whatever, and be whatever. Like, you're not holding back who you truly are. And this person's definitely pretending, because they say, I'm just miserable and I'm really tired of pretending I'm not. So this person is sad, feeling foolish, feeling like they've made some mistakes, and they're pretending like they're not. So like I said, that may be where they lied. That may have been like that, I'm sorry I lied to you, is that, oh, I'm fine, everything's great with my life, like I'm totally balanced over here and I'm totally free to do whatever I want, and you know, I didn't make any mistakes, I'm good, you know. But underneath that, they feel a little bit sad about the fact that they didn't open up to you, or sad that they didn't express what they had to say, or sad that they let you walk away, or sad that you're now off living this energy, and they're wondering, are you getting other offers and other options and all that? Do you have more distractions now because you're not afraid to be who you truly are? And they feel foolish for holding everything back inside of themselves. And then they say, I want to make you smile again, happy. So I feel like they do want to make you happy, and I feel like they want to make themselves happy, because we do have the I'm sad card here. So I feel like this is them speaking to the fact that they do want to make you happy. They do want to work on this with you. They want you to do the work too, but they do want to make you happy. They're not, you know, coming at this as like, let me self-serve. So they say, I want to make you smile again. So however they've made you smile in the past, they want to be able to do that to you again. They want to make you feel good. And they say, I know we can fix what has broken. So I feel like this person may have had a broken heart when you met them, or they could have broken your heart through meeting them, but I feel like they want to fix it. They want to make you happy. They want to fix your broken heart. They want to fix their broken heart. They want to do the work that's required to be this divine masculine, to clear up these illusions and distractions, to take that leap of faith into this with somebody that they see as single, sexy, confident, independent, somebody very loving and nurturing, somebody that's loving themselves unconditionally, and somebody that they basically do want to be happy beside. So I do feel like overall this person does want to work with you to make things right between the two of you. I do feel like they are, you know, doing their best to be the emperor and to do the work that they need to do to be that emperor, but that they still are probably working on some things, you know, like they still have to speak their truth. They still have to take that mask off that's pretending like, oh, everything's fine, I'm not sad, when in reality they're tired of pretending like that. You know, they're miserable deep inside, they feel foolish deep inside, but they don't want to put that out to the world yet. And I think that's something that they need to be more vulnerable and authentic with, and then that's going to help you guys to heal what has broken, and that's going to help you to feel even more inspired to be that divine essence of yourself, that true being that's like true to you and isn't letting anything derail you. Because I'm sure there's times that this connection has made you, you know, doubt yourself or do things you normally wouldn't do, or question, am I good enough, am I smart enough, am I pretty enough, am I this enough, am I that enough? And like I said, they definitely want to balance things out in their life, which would mean balancing things out with you in this connection. So I definitely feel like things can go in a good direction for you guys, as long as you continue to both do the work and don't point the finger at the other person. And I do think that they can be back just like that when you start paying attention to that synchronicity and what's going on in your mind, when you're not, you know, worried about things too much, and you just trust that foundation that's there, and you're off creating in that beautiful energy of, you know, just being the divine feminine, being very creative, being very receptive, being very nurturing, and knowing that they do wish that they had said things that they didn't say, and knowing that they regret letting you walk away. So hopefully that made sense for you guys. Thank you very much. That was pile 1, and I'm going to set us up for pile number 2. Okay, pile number 2. So we're going to start off with the tarot, and we're going to see what this person has to say to you, and then we're going to dive in with some other cards here and other messages. So let's see what's going on between you and this person. The first card out is the Star. So I feel like whoever you are within this, they could be looking at you as rising up. They could be looking at you as like the star of the show. They could be looking at you as like a wish come true, or you could be looking at them in that way. You know, this can always be vice versa. But the star is usually somebody that has recognition. The star is usually somebody that's done a lot of work on themselves. The star is usually inspiring other people. The star is basically like the star. You know, think of like what a star is to us. You know, for some of you, it could be even that you're a star seed. Because I feel like that comes through in that energy too. Like the star seeds are here to inspire other people. The star seeds are here to, you know, like wake other people up and inspire the collective consciousness and heal and grow and ascend. And so no matter how you look at it, whether it's looking at it as they're seeing you as a star seed or they're seeing you as a star, I do feel like they are drawn to your light. They're drawn to your energy, and they see you doing, you know, beautiful things. And some of you could be seeing them like in that energy. So if you've been seeing your person really rising up and growing and ascending and doing what they need to do, that may be how you feel about them. But we do have the Death card here, which is about transformation. So it makes sense that these two would come together, because I feel like whoever the star of the show is, whoever's seeing the other as a star, and it was my intention to figure out how they feel about you. So I feel like for many of you, they feel like you're transforming. They feel like you're rising. You're doing something differently than you once were. You're looking better. You're shining brighter. You're just transforming the old parts of yourself and having a rebirth. So there could be a rebirth within your mind, a rebirth within your energy, a rebirth within your body, a rebirth within all of those areas, because usually when we have a rebirth of one thing, it impacts all things. So I feel like they could be really seeing this energy about you transforming. And with the Four of Emotions, they could be worried that they're going to get rejected, or that you no longer are going to be interested in them, because the Four of Cups is about missing an opportunity. So they could feel like they're going to miss their opportunity with you now that you're starting to shine brighter, or now that you're starting to see your own worth, or now that you're starting to rise up in the light. They could be like, oh shit, maybe I'm going to lose my opportunity here. because I didn't notice this about them before, or I wasn't ready for this before. And with the Ace of Voices, I feel like they do want to communicate with you, something new that they haven't said to you before. They may want to speak in a new way, or they could be thinking in a new way. Usually those two things go hand in hand. The only thing is, I feel like for some of them, they're seeing things in a new way, wanting to communicate with you, but they're worried about, like, how that's going to play out, you know, especially if you've gone through a major transformation, you're doing really good, you're looking really nice, and everything's going okay for you. They may be afraid that if I come in to say something, bring new communication in, it's not going to go as well as I hope, because, you know, you may be sitting in different energy than you once were when you were trying to communicate with this person in the past. So yeah, with the Eight of Inspiration, which is the Eight of Wands, I feel like this person does want to take action, wants to travel any distance that's been created here. They want to come closer to you. They want to communicate with you. They want to travel towards you. But I think that they're holding back, and they're trying to make a decision on what they should do, because you got the Lovers here. And the Lovers is about making a choice in love. So they could be wondering, should I choose to go after this star, or should I choose someone else? You know, so you may be the one that ends up feeling like rejected if they decide that, like, they should just go choose someone else because it's going to be easier, or they're not going to be as intimidating, because the star is intimidating. The star is when you put someone up on a pedestal and it's like, ooh, they're so pretty and shiny and nice. And I feel like for some of you, they could be doing that, and they could be trying to make a choice, like, should I pursue this person that's transformed and is shining so beautifully and brightly, or should I just go pursue something else somewhere else? You know, should I go think in a new way and be in a new way, speak in a new way with somebody else that's not going to be so, like, up there? But I think inevitably for many of you, they're going to make the choice to communicate to you, to travel towards you, and to say something to you, because they don't want to let this go, you know. And it may be that you've changed, and now they're more drawn to you because of how you've changed. Maybe before you were constantly, you know, anxious and constantly like knocking out their energy and like, please pay attention to me, please pay attention to me. You may have figured out how to rise up out of that, and because of that, they could be more attracted to you now. So we're going to see what comes through with the Divine Time Oracle. We have growth. Decades will come and go if you don't choose to grow. So I feel like for many of you, you have been doing the growth. But if you haven't been, if you've been holding yourself back for some reason, or you've put them on the pedestal, because for some of you, I'm picking up that this is vice versa, even though it was my intention to figure out how they feel about you. If you've put them on a pedestal and you see them transforming, and you're afraid you're going to be rejected by them, and you're afraid they're going to choose someone else, you've got to do some work on yourself, because decades will come and go if you don't choose to grow. If you don't choose to rise beside them and transform beside them, you don't have to be in the same room as them to transform by their side. If it's your twin flame, as one of you heals and rises, the other one usually does too. So all you have to do is choose to evolve for yourself and choose to grow, and then decades aren't going to come and go where you're sitting there alone. All right, so if you've been having a hard time with like your anxiety or your stress or freaking out, you know, about this, try to do some things that are going to make you feel better. Something that I've been taking that's like really good for stress and anxiety is this CBD oil, where it just like helps you to relax. And I realized the other day, I did like a video on my Instagram, that if you have that anxious attachment style, that may help you immensely to calm down. And if you're dealing with somebody that has the avoidant attachment style, you will stop pursuing them to the point where they run from you, and you'll give them that space that they need to come towards you. So if you've been anxious, you've been like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, taking something like CBD oil, or using something like essential oils, or doing something like meditation is going to help bring you back into this like moment and stop like and help you to transform and rise up in their eyes, so that they do want to cross that distance that's been created there, so that you stop feeling that rejection from them, so you stop worrying so much, and so that they don't go choose someone else. So choose to grow if you're the one that hasn't been. And if you have been doing that growth and you have been in that star energy, know that they have this on them, that they need to choose to grow, or decades are going to come and go. And then we have gather round and raise a glass, finally found enough time has passed, with Thanksgiving celebration. So for those of you who do choose to like lean back, relax, chill out, and transform, and those of you who have been doing this work and have been growing and doing what you need to do, I feel like by Thanksgiving, you may find that enough time has passed that the one that you missed will come for a kiss. This basically says the one you miss will come for a kiss, nostalgic. So somebody may be thinking about you and missing you, and because you've done the work and you've been sitting pretty in that energy, they're like, ooh, I might want to communicate with you by Thanksgiving. I might want to say something. I might want to come get that kiss. So they're saying, stop and look around. All you want will be found. So everything that you need is available to you in this moment to heal. Everything that you need that will get you to this place to reconciling and kissing and nostalgic energies and growing and all of that, you already have at your disposal. And if you're confused, it says, what is true, who is real, what will the time reveal? I feel like just give yourself a little bit of time and look around and be open to what's there in front of you and trust what's there in front of you, because they're saying, do you not see you are already free? So you already have the freedom, you already have things available to you, whether it's just yourself, like your energy, your thoughts, the way you look at the world, the way you look at the connection, the way that you are in this whole minute. It's like whatever you need is available to you. And if you're confused and don't feel that way, you got to start being more open and receptive and looking and realizing that it's right there in front of your face. All you've got to do is think a little bit differently, speak a little bit differently, and change. Everything will happen as a result of those two things. When you start thinking differently and speaking differently, your whole world changes. So just know that you have the power to do that. You are free to do what you need to do in this moment and in all moments to help you to get to that place of growth and for things to change so that you can have that reconciliation and that communication and that action being taken rather quickly rather than later. So let's see what music wants to come through for your connection. We have, I never knew you were the one waiting for me. So whoever you're asking about, they may not know that you've been waiting on them. They may not realize, like they could have you on a pedestal, like I said, and they could be like, I don't know if she really is into me or if she's been like waiting on me all this time. Like, how could she possibly be? She's got all this awesome stuff in her life. She looks good. She's got this, she's got that, blah, 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 blah. So they could be confused thinking that you're not waiting on them because you're looking really good and you're transforming. Now, if you're the one that hasn't been transforming, you're the one that hasn't been growing, you could be feeling this way. Like, you may not realize that they're waiting on you to grow. They're waiting on you to heal. They're waiting on you to do what you got to do so they can choose you. But you've got to shift your mind and see that you are the creator and that you have that freedom to really realize these things and to heal these things so that they don't have to wait on you anymore. Then we have all your perfect imperfections, all of me loves all of you. So even if you do have imperfections, even if you're not, doing everything you should be doing right now, you're not feeling the way you feel like you should be feeling, they still love you as you are. Because all of them loves all of you. You have the same song twice, which happened like the other day for somebody. So all of them loves all of you. So just know that. This person definitely loves you. And that song may be very significant. That may be something you want to listen to. That will give you more confirmation. And they say, I'll be your dream. I'll be your wish. I'll be your fantasy. I'll be your hope. I'll be your love. I'll be everything that you need. So I feel like this person will be everything that you need, will be all of your dreams coming true and all of those things, coming to fruition when you believe that about yourself too. Because I feel like for some of you, this is how they look at you. They look at you as their dream, their wish, their fantasy, their hope, their love, all that they need as that star. And for some of you, you've got them as the star and you're like, they're my hope, my dream, my wish, my fantasy, they're everything I need. And as soon as you realize that you can be the same for them, you like balance the scales, you balance the energy, you realize and recognize that there's nothing bad about you. If it's your twin flame, they're supposed to be your mirror, so like don't put them up on a freaking pedestal because they're just basically a reflection of you. So you need to grow and realize that you are beautiful. You are all the things that you see in them that you think are so amazing exist inside of you too. So instead of putting them up there, bring them back down to reality with you. Then we have the soul whispers. We're going to see what they have to say. They say, I love your mind. So they love the way that your mind works. They love the way that your energy is. They love the way that you think, the way that you speak. So that may be changing the way that they think and speak with that Ace of Swords energy coming through. They could be changing things up about themselves. And they say, I don't know what's wrong with me. So they could have some insecurities too. And I feel like for some of you, you have insecurities. For some, they do. But they're like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I can't make this work. I don't know why this has been so messed up. But they say, I love you more than words could say. So like even they don't even have the right words to tell you or express to you how they feel about you. And I think it's because they, again, for some of you, feel like you are amazing. They feel like you are that star of the show. And then we have almost time. So I do feel like it's almost time for you guys to be able to come together, to talk together, to heal together, to fix this connection together. But you just have to realize it. You just have to shift your focus around this connection and recognize that you are equal with this person and that you both are the star of the show, that neither one of you are above the other, that neither one of you, you know, need to be any better than what you already are. It's like once you love yourself unconditionally in the moment, the other person can love you unconditionally in the moment too. They can recognize how beautiful you are when you recognize how beautiful you are. So you really want to change the way you're thinking and feeling and speaking about yourself if you've had any negativity in regards to that. And then we have, I found peace again with the ocean of emotions. So I feel like somebody is starting to find peace again. They're starting to relax, or this is where things are headed, okay? You're going to figure out, okay, like, I'm going through this transformation. I'm taking the action that I need to take. I'm doing what I need to do here so that I can grow, so that I can overcome these difficulties, and I don't have to sit around decade after decade. I can just relax. Again, like I said, if you've been anxious, you got to find that peace again, to lean back and allow the space for this person to come towards you. Then we have stress. I'm under so much pressure. So this could be your energy right now, and I feel like for some of you, it's like, just take it as it resonates, because some of you, it's you that's wicked stressed out that needs to find this peace, and for some of you, it's them that's wicked stressed out and needs to find this peace. And again, if this is the issue, it's like somebody needs to freaking do something. Somebody needs to like freaking take CBD oil, or get some essential oils, or take time off of work, or do something that's going to make them relax, because stress is a huge thing. Stress will make your physical body hurt. It will make your emotional body hurt. It will make your mental body hurt. It'll make your spiritual body hurt. It will destroy everything if you're constantly stressed out and constantly freaking out and constantly thinking things that aren't true, or constantly like pursuing something. You know, it's like you just got to chill out and relax. And that's the answer here, I feel, for many of you. That's how you grow, is by just relaxing and just allowing, whether it's on your side or their side. And then we have, I can't accept it, denial. So I feel like for some of you, this is what the stress is coming from. Like, I can't accept that this is over. I can't accept that, like, I messed up. I can't accept that, like, we're at where we're at. I can't accept the situation. You know, something here, there's like this denial where somebody doesn't want to accept. Maybe they don't want to accept that it's them that needs to heal. So if that's you, don't keep avoiding the mirror, especially if you're pointing your finger at that person and being like, they need to do this, they need to do that, they need to do this, because they're your mirror. So if you keep pointing your finger at them, you're basically just pointing it at yourself and saying, like, I need to do this, and I need to do that, and I need to do this. So make sure you don't have any denial, because I know sometimes people just want to hear the positive, good things, like, oh, you look beautiful and you're shining light. But that may not be the truth. That may not be what's going on. So you've got to, you know, not have denial, face what stress is there, and relax again, so that you can be surprised and something good can happen. Because if you keep being in denial, or you keep being stressed out, or you keep doing things that are keeping you from growing, you're never gonna get where you want to go. But once you do this work, you'll be surprised. And this person says, I have a beautiful surprise planned for you. So I feel like once you guys are truly embodied in this relaxed energy, you're not stressed out anymore, you're not letting things get to you the way they were before, you're not sitting in denial, this person's going to show up to support you. They say, I want to be the one who stands beside you and assists you in all your success. So you may be successful, you may be rising up, you may be getting recognition, but you could still be dealing with a lot of stress because of that. And sometimes people don't see that part of it. They put you on a pedestal, but this person wants to be your support system. I feel like they can't be your support system until you are your support system first and foremost, and until you're committed to your growth too. So they say committed, until death do us part isn't enough. So I feel like this person does want a long commitment with you. I feel like you want a long commitment with them. I feel like you guys would be a good support system to each other. And I feel like you're going to be surprised as soon as you recognize your freedom in this moment, to not be confused, to not be like, is this me or isn't this me? Like, you just gotta be honest with yourself, look around, realize that everything you need is available to you in the moment to grow, always. And we're never done growing, so never take that as like a personal hit, like, oh, I already did my meditation, or I already did. It doesn't matter. We still have, if you're still living, you're still healing, because every day something else happens. Every day we're, you know,
reminded of things that we may have forgot about. So every day is an opportunity to keep growing and keep growing and keep growing. And if you are ascending and you are rising up and you are becoming successful and you are transforming, that's even, again, a better time to be continuing to grow, because that means you're going to continue to expand. Like maybe your business is starting to take off and you're happy with where you're at, but you could be like 10 times ahead of where you're at right now, but you're just not seeing it because you're not growing, or you're not recognizing that that's available to you because you're only used to having maybe $10,000 in a month. But you could be having $100,000 a month if you allow yourself to grow. So that's just like an example of what I mean. Like sometimes we get stuck in a very limited place, which feels great. It's like, I did my work and I'm transformed and I'm making good money and I'm happy and I did my meditation and I healed my inner child. And it's like, well, you could be here though. Like there's 100,000 other opportunities available to you, but if you don't let that be there, if you don't see that, if you're not open to it, it's not going to come. So I feel like that's for some of you, where it's like, it's not like it's not like you're a hot mess or a hot wreck, but for some of you, there's still work that could be done. There's still opportunities that are available to you, and you just got to shift the way you're thinking and speaking about yourself. Like for me, like when I want to attract more money, or I want to attract more support, or I want to attract more abundance, or whatever in to my life, I start speaking it into my life. Like I start writing it into my life. Like I have the circle that I use to manifest, and I change that circle. It used to be, I am making $10,000 a month. Now I've changed it to $16,000 a month, and now I'm going to change it to $20,000 a month. And then, like you just got to keep upping it, because you can't, if not, you just will stay stuck at that one place. Like you got to keep manifesting what you want your reality to be, what you want your circle to be. So you just draw a circle and write inside of the circle what it is that you want to be manifesting. And when you hit that goal, go to the next goal, then go to the next goal, then go to the next goal. When I started that off, it was like, I was like trying to manifest $100, and then it was like $1,000, and then it was like $2,000, and then $5,000. It just keeps going and going and going. But you can do that with love, you can do that with health, you can do that with anything, but you got to keep going. I think that's basically what Spirit's message is here. So don't take it personally that they're saying to grow if you've already done a lot of growth, because they're just saying keep going, keep growing. And if you haven't been growing, be honest with yourself. If you've been stuck and anxious and, blocking yourself from opportunities, just be honest with yourself. Don't be in denial about it. And that's how you're going to get to the support system, and that's how you're going to get committed to somebody, and that's how things are going to get better between you and a person that you may be stressed out that it's not going to get there. And that's when you're going to be able to fully relax and realize how much of the creator you are, and how much abundance you can create, and how much love you can attract, and how much awesome sauce there can be. So hopefully that made sense for some of you. And again, this may all be for the person that you're dealing with too. But I feel like there's going to be like a vibe there for both people. So thank you very much. I'm going to set us up for pile number 3, but in Mune, namaste. Okay, so we're moving on to pile number 3 here. I'm going to start off with the Muse Tarot. And basically the first card here is the Page of Voices, which is the Page of Swords. So I feel like whoever you're asking about, they are like maybe looking on from afar. They're not maybe saying anything to you. They're not communicating with you, but they're looking on from afar and thinking about what they want to say, thinking about, maybe reaching out through social media. They could be connected to your social media, looking but not really interacting, not speaking, just watching. Basically, this is what that energy is about. It's somebody that just watches from afar and doesn't really do anything. They just kind of look and look and look. So I feel like you're dealing with somebody that's looking, and it may come from fear, because we've got the this is the 7 of Inspiration. This is the 7 of Wands, but for whatever reason I thought it was the 8 of Swords. But the 7 of Wands is when you're guarded, so that could be connected to fear, or it could just be connected to them having their guard up with you for some particular reason, or with women in particular reason, or just in a particular reason in their life. They could be guarded with everyone right now, like, I don't want anybody, I don't want anything, I just want to be left alone, leave me over here to watch from far, but I don't want to say anything, I don't want to do anything. I'm going to just kind of like keep my guard up and stay protected over here. And with the 5 of Voices, this is the 5 of Swords, so they could be afraid that they're going to be defeated. The 5 of Swords is like, you know, looking at love as a battlefield, or looking at everything as a battlefield, being like, oh, I'm gonna fight, it's a fight, it's gonna be bad, and I gotta keep myself protected. And I feel like this person just has that tendency to look at things as like, you know, fight or flight. And I feel like right now they have the fight part up, where it's like they're ready to like for probably no reason. And with the Three of Emotions, there could be another person involved in this connection. It could be that they have a third party or you have a third party, and that may be why they're over there watching with their guard up, because they don't know if they're going to be defeated by trying to be with you. If you're married, obviously they're going to feel like nervous about that. If they're married, I feel like they're nervous about making the wrong decision, or like ending a divorce, having a divorce and ending their situation, because they could be afraid of being defeated there. So they may have their guard up. They may not be talking to you. They may be afraid if they get caught talking to you that they're going to like lose all their money. Because when you go through a divorce, as 4444 goes by, foundation, when you go through a divorce, if you get caught cheating or whatever, like the court where I live will, you know, go in the favor of the person who was not cheating. They're going to give you like a lot more money, and they're going to give you all of like basically whatever you want, because this person was cheating on you. So they could be afraid to pursue you right now, thinking that their husband or wife is going to find out, and that they're going to end up with nothing if they pursue you right now. So they could be holding themselves really back, trying to figure out what to do in that situation that feels like a battlefield, and not wanting to bring you into that battlefield so that they can close this chapter. And then you do have the Eight of Swords. So they are fearful. They definitely have fear. And I feel like they're afraid of, like what I just said, for some of you, they're afraid something bad is going to happen if they pursue you right now, or if they say something right now, or if they do something right now. So they want this chapter to close. They want this part of the world to end, and they're afraid of doing anything. They're afraid of being defeated. They're afraid of pursuing. They're afraid of speaking up, and they've just got their guard up, and they're looking at love as like love is a battlefield. So they're freaking out a little bit. And with the divine timing here, we have their absence brings balance with the Justice card. So I do feel like the fact that they're not there right now, they're not speaking up, they're just watching from afar, it is going to bring balance. And balance and justice, this is the Justice card of this deck. This is going to bring balance, wherein they're going to leave they're going to go through the divorce. They're going to get through whatever this is, and they're going to end up leaving behind whatever situation they're in that's been causing an imbalance. So just know that they may not be doing anything right now, but they are at the same time. Their absence in your life is going to bring balance to this connection at some point. Whether it's you saying enough's enough, I don't want somebody that's never going to pursue me or talk to me, or if it's them saying enough's enough, I'm done being afraid of my situation, I'm out of here. Then we have when leaves hit the ground, be sure to look around, which is the fall card. So right now where I am is fall. I don't know where you live, but it could be that wherever you are, by fall time, something will be available to you to look at. Something is going to shift. Something is going to end. A cycle is closing, so a new beginning can happen. So you got 999, which is endings and new beginnings. And it says cycles close. So some sort of cycle may close by fall for you, or during fall, which could be now, or it could be in a few months, depending on where you live. But they say this is your true twin flame. Remember your story and why you came. So for many of you, this is your true twin flame. They may be with somebody they're not supposed to be, or they may be doing things that they, that doesn't feel good. But in divine time, things will align. So you got to just look at this and realize that things will come into alignment. Right now, there's a reason for them to be gone. By fall, things could be shifting, or during fall, things could be shifting. You got to look at what's happening and realize that a cycle is closing, and that this is your true twin flame. There's some reason you're here together in this moment. There's some reason you're here in this lifetime together, and you just got to trust that things will align when they're meant to align, and that things will work out for you. And then you have 616, which is egotistical. Watch your thoughts. Watch your spending and responsibilities. So try not to let your money try not to go into too much spending of money. Try not to get sucked into the ego. Try not to, if you know they're watching you, don't be trying to impress them with money, or trying to impress them with your looks, or trying to impress them with things that come from the ego, because I feel like they're going to see right through that. They're going to be like, I'm looking at you anyway, so why don't you just be yourself? Don't be spending tons of extra money. Don't be doing weird shit. Just be yourself, because they're already looking. You're just waiting for alignment. You're waiting for justice and balance. You're waiting for your ability to look around and everything that you're wanting will be found. It's like everything will be there, but you've got to give it the time and the space that it needs to work out in that way. Okay? Then with the songs, we have You're Still the One I Run to, the one that I belong to, you're still the one I want for life. So this person may have run from you, but I feel like they do want to be with you for life. You're still the one that they want for life. You're still the one that they want to choose. But they may have to like get rid of something, some sort of distraction or some sort of person or some sort of karma. You know, could be that they have an addiction or that they have a job or a family member or friends or something that's keeping them from having this balance with you, and it's just a karmic lesson that needs to be cleared away so that they can pursue you. And they have love me like you do, love me like you do, love me like you do. So they just want to be loved by you. They don't want any weirdness. They just want love. And they say sex is something that we should do. Sex is something for me and you. So they definitely want to get freaky deaky with you. And they want to get some sex from you. And they say, bring back those nights when I held you beside me. So I feel like that's, again, you know, connected to that sexual energy. They want to be freaky deaky with you. They want to have sex with you. They want to hold you beside them again. I feel like their heart is broken right now because they haven't been able to do that. And they're out in the cold looking at you. But it's because of some reason. It's either a karmic lesson or a karmic relationship or a karmic, you know, cycle, something that needs to be overcome. If it's a karmic cycle, it could be that you know, need to say no to something. Like maybe they keep coming in just to sleep with you and you need to say no to that and be like, listen, I love you, but I'm not going to just jump into bed with you. If you're only going to sit on the sideline and look at me until you're not afraid to say, let's jump in bed, like I'm going to put an end to that cycle so that that can close and I can stop going through this defeated, you know, whatever, and we can go to the next chapter, go to the next cycle here together where there is alignment, where we're not treating each other from a place of ego, where we're not just jumping into bed. That cycle can close and we can remember why we're really here and we can balance things out, and, you know, I can look around and see what I wanted instead of, you know, you coming and going or you just sleeping with me and then taking off or going home to your wife or going home to your family that hates me or, you know, whatever it is within your situation. So then from the soul whispers, we have, I don't know what to do. So I feel like if this person's married or they have a family dynamic or, you know, there's just something that's causing issues within your connection, they really don't know what to do right now. And they say, please don't leave me. So they, even though they don't know what to do right now, they don't want to lose you. They say, I will be back. So I feel like they do plan to come back regardless of what's gone on. They're like, I'm going to be back, but you're better off without me right now. So it's like, you're better off without me right now, but I recognize myself inside of you. You know, please don't leave me for good. Please don't let go of this all together. So they're seeing themselves in you. They don't want to lose you. They know that they're going to be back, but they just don't know exactly what to do. And they feel like you're better off without them. So I feel like that's why they come and go, or that's why they haven't left their significant other, or that they haven't put an end to whatever thing that needs to be put an end to. They feel like you're better off without them, so I should just go away. But at the same time, I keep coming back, and it's like, I just don't know what to do. So they're basically defeating themselves over and over and over again, and that needs to end. That cycle needs to end. Then from the ocean of emotion, we have your strength inspires me. So I feel like they do want to find the strength they need to stop this cycle, to stop, you know, coming and going, to just being like, oh, you're better off without me. And they say, every single day I feel worse about myself and my choices. So they have envy, and they like look at other people and be like, why can't I have what they have? Why can't I do what you do? Why can't I have the strength that you have to just go after what you want? Why can't I figure this out? So they definitely need to work on that as well. Like, you can't just be running around feeling all envious about other people. It's like, just start making the decisions that support you then. If you feel bad about your choices, start making new choices. Stop looking at everybody else and start living your life without fear. Start doing what you know you're supposed to be doing, and, you know, put the guard down and start fighting for what you want instead of against what you want. And we have nobody cares isolation. So I feel like this person has a tendency to go to that place of feeling like nobody cares about me, I don't deserve anything, I'm not good enough. But then we have desire, I miss the way you taste, those soft lips on my face, your warm embrace, everything you gave. So they definitely desire getting freaky deaky with you. And I feel like this is one of those problems. It's like they may equate this and this together. Like, nobody cares about me unless they're sleeping with me, or you don't care about me if you don't jump into bed with me. And then they may even like literally say things like that to you, and you could be like, I do care about you, like, let me prove it to you. And then, you know, bad cycle. So I just feel like this person's in a victim mentality where they're like, everything I do is wrong, and everybody else is stronger, and nobody else cares about me, and I'm all alone, but I want to have sex. And it's like, the hell, dude. And then they say, please forgive me, sorry. So I do feel like they know on some level that they are making mistakes here, that they're not doing what they should be doing, and they can see beyond the smoke and mirrors. So they're starting to see beyond these illusions that they've created. They're starting to recognize that, like, what they're doing here is not cool. What they're saying and what they're doing is not aligning. What their behavior is leading to them having to apologize. It's behaviors that they, you know, aren't happy about, because they're like, I wish I didn't do that after I did it. I wish that I had made better choices, because I would be further ahead right now if I stopped doing these stupid things that I'm doing that are connected to these illusions that I'm living in, which could be based off of just being in the wrong relationship or being in the wrong dynamic, working with the wrong job, having an addiction, having family members that don't support them, having, you know, that karmic relationship on their ass. There's something that they've got in their world that's causing them to be sucked into these illusions, but they're starting to see through it, and they're starting to recognize that they have to make a choice here. They need to stop, you know, looking at everybody else, and they need to stop, you know, being the victim, and they need to say sorry and start making better decisions for themselves, so that they don't have to be isolated and alone and miserable, that they don't have to feel like nobody cares about them, because I'm sure people do care about them, but they may not be surrounding themselves with many of those people, or they may be used to people who don't care about them, so they just attract more and more and more of those people, and they admire the strength that you have to maybe not do that, or they admire the strength that you have to even deal with them and their bullshit, or to deal with whatever's happened here. But they're definitely wanting strength to overcome isolation and to overcome illusion and to overcome envy, so that they can go towards what they desire, because they're definitely desiring you, and they're definitely wanting more with you, you know, sexually for sure. And I think that might be something that is the karmic thing here for many of you, that needs to be like, all right, you know what, like, sex is something we should do, great, but if you want sex with me, like, love me like you do too, like, love me on a deeper level. Don't just make it about sex, you know. Figure out what you're gonna do. You know, if you recognize yourself inside of me, come back and be there. Stay with me. Don't, you know, come and go. And make a decision about what you're going to do, because this whole, like, you're better off without me thing isn't good enough. Like, and you've got to say that if they're trying to just jump into bed with you and then take off with you, because they're like, please don't leave me, but I'm not going to stay around either. So you need to be the one that's like, I'm only jumping into bed with you if you're going to stick around with me. But just know that they still will run to you. They still will come to you. I feel like they may be like the runner chaser thing, where they show up and then they run, and they show up and then they run. But I do think that they want to bring back nights beside you. Unfortunately, it may be very sexual for some of you, but you have the power to put an end to that and say, like, we're not going to keep playing that game. Like, if you want to jump into bed with me, I need more from you. And then with this energy, I do feel like there's ego involved here for sure, and that needs to be overcome, you know. And with this energy, things will come into alignment, balance will be found, this cycle will end, and you guys will figure out what you're meant to do here, so that this chapter can close and a new one can begin. But I think somebody needs to be the one that says, like, enough's enough, I'm not doing this anymore, so that you can shift the timeline and come into wholeness and completion, and you can put an end to the stuff that's been bad. And then counting minutes as the digits, so just be patient. Don't be like focused on when. Just know that this is something big to heal, and, you know, over time you'll be able to heal it. But I feel like you just need to give this person like a little bit of like, like, we're not doing that anymore. If you're gonna have your guard up, then you're not gonna sleep with me. If you're gonna be afraid to like say something, then I'm not gonna communicate with you either. You know, this needs to change, this whole approaching love as a battlefield, or approaching me while you're still dealing with somebody else, or approaching me while you still got this karmic situation going on. Those things need to end. And once that stuff ends, I feel like this relationship will be a lot easier to handle and to be with. So hopefully that made sense for some of you guys. And thank you very much. I just split this and got see you soon. So I feel like they do want to come talk to you soon, but there's a fight in their head daily about doing so. and they're asking, have you truly forgiven me? So you may still be mad at them for something that they already did, but they do say you're so beautiful and nobody compares to you. So even if they're with somebody else, nobody compares. And you guys did make a promise as twin flames, you know, like you have that strong connection, but this person is a mess, and I feel like they need to heal. And they say, I can't forget you. So just know that they can't forget you. I wish I could tell you how I feel. So they have a hard time opening up, and they do admire you. They do want to open up and talk to you. You're in their dreams, so they're seeing you a lot, like when they're sleeping, and they just think that you are perfect. So just know that they will make it right when the time is right for them to do it, because they can't forget you. All right, so hopefully that made sense to you guys. Thank you very much. I think that's it. I will put the link down below for all of these decks, and in Mune, namaste.